still here maybe this weekend, so just maximizing my time.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Are they here?
Yeah, they were at the ceremony for that.
Yeah, in the morning. Okay, careful, yeah, please. Make way, please. Make way, please. Thank you. Make way, thank you. Yeah.
And Tracy, I bet Tracy sits like right here.
Yeah, I'll reach out for sure during graduation or for
It's gonna be story 4. Never.
You want them boxed up? I don't know.
Is it gonna be a full table?
Well, yeah, he invited me.
Yeah.
So maybe
Because, yeah, this is sort of like accelerating the single audits to cover up for the delays. No, it's from here. Yeah, to essentially mobilize resources, to prioritize it, and to make sure no one goes on leave who handles those areas.
They're starting on time this time.
Yeah. No, I think the problem is starting ahead of time, as long as they let us know.
Yeah, they have better over there. You're not this. Yeah, this is the the inverse egress for the buses.
Brad, when does school start?
Which one? Public, private schools already started.
You've already started, are they coming?
SIS and Mount Carmel started for sure. I don't know about,
Are your kids, where are they?
their SS.
So they're starting?
Yeah, they started.
So they miss their school?
They're happy, getting their clothes, backpacks, classes, they got phones now.
They like school?
Yeah, it's like school, practices started for sports and all that stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Your runner, your girl?
Yeah, they both do everything. So she has like cross country, and then they both got soccer. Keone's never stopped in soccer.
So they drive their own cars?
Oh God, no, not there yet. But I know what they're gonna get. They're gonna end up getting these little K cars. You know, that's good on gas and all that stuff.
Are you gonna do that?
Oh yeah, 100%. They're getting K cars.
That's years from now.
They're years away from us.
You still have to chauffeur.
Yeah, and Kathy doesn't.
You help with home?
I'm home so late. I really when I'm home, yeah. Wake up like an early night for me is like 7:30, like every night. But I'm usually not that super usual, so like 9:30 I'm late. But I can do one more thing, you know. So I'm just working a lot. I hope they appreciate it.
Yeah, they do. I just remember loving doing homework with my daughter. She doesn't remember that. You know what I mean? It's really interesting. She doesn't remember those years, but I do.
Well, so they came to the studio yesterday to do some homework stuff, and they're asking, asking my daughter, she has to do like a short story for today. So, all right, can I read it? She's like, no. Give me the first paragraph. She's like, no, give me the first sentence. No. Why are you taking? You never check out my homework. I'm like, oh. And I saw that she wrote it, but she's like, it's a bad one. Why just tell me? And when she said something, I'm like, wait, check out my something. I don't. Never mind. When I get home, they'd already eaten dinner and all this other stuff. Just that. That's how it is. I think it's going to change by the end of the year. I think my plan for the end of the year, it's not like, that's it, I'm going. just think I have things set up. It's gonna be okay. That's bring people on. Yeah, not easy, not fun, but I can't do it till it's sustainable. I can't be like fake and go ahead and all that. It's exciting though, man. That's part of it.
I'm with you. I built things like that on the ground up, so I know what it
I
feels.
still feel like I need to.
I'm building a it's where your memory is gonna live. And the kids are smart, they know why you're doing it, what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
They say when people ask me, where's your dad? They
asked what we, my daughter asked what is yours? Nothing else to do my homework. I was the house, my wife was working.
No, I think this is the
Good time. So today during the show, she was talking about the push-ups. Fabian was watching the show. He's like, hey, Brad, let's do 20 push-ups. So I angled one of the cameras down. I'm like, all right, let's go, guys. I got a push-ups. Like, we can do that every day, get people going. And then I'm like, oh, jeez. I was so excited. We were laughing about the whole thing. We're like, I can't catch my breath now. Let's play the news update from Associated Press.
Oh, I know that. You're the one just letting Polycare go through his thing.
No. Oh yeah, his transformation center.
He's always publishing his labor. I hope it sticks.
Me too. He's great.
His workouts will stick. Giant ones. Well, not a chance. But if he keeps working out, it doesn't matter. Once he has the metabolism, you know what I mean? And the energy.
I got jumps like mine again.
Me too. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just sit there and go, I can do 20 push-ups right now.
These are the new ones.
I get in the pool, I swim one lap, and then I float on my back.
That's the ocean. That's the way to go. Go in the ocean. And that's where you don't even have to swim. You just bob.
That's what I do. Well, I got that pool, and it's bob. It's really, I'm supposed to be exercising.
We're trying to go to the airport.
So do you know where this is about? Are they gonna announce that we're actually gonna see a budget?
We're kind of.
These are
Did they always, did they do that, or is it just a Trump thing? They need this executive orders. What?
They use them also.
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I don't remember any executive orders. Pardon me, we're talking about it. So I don't remember any until now.
Because
In the States.
it might not always been a grand pronouncement of it.
No, they don't.
Same like the Kennedy Awards. And he's going to host them too.
Who is?
Senator Awards. He said he picked 98% of them. So we got kids. Gloria Gaynor, Michael Crawford. Oh gosh. I'm missing somebody. Somebody else. I don't normally pay attention to those either. But like I've seen the guys, the medals.
Yes, the great artists.
Yeah, and the performances and honoring them. But I never really like who's going to get it this year. Like I've never really followed it.
Yeah.
So should be interesting.
None of them are horrible.
No, there's another one. I just can't remember. So Gloria Gaynor, Michael Crawford, Piss.
None of whom I like, but none of whom I have no respect for. It's bad.
I thought he was great.
He used to go there today.
Oh, gosh. We're going to have
Talk to
conversations.
Broadway.
Yeah. I loved him. I loved him. That's what got me into it. But
Oh, because the design is excellent. But then you get
so this is, check this on the box. He's going to talk about
Oh my God.
Well, so
They kind of do better.
I only,
They're
that
just
was the year that I only, like, in high school, I got into like the theater part, like, I didn't, that part of the school didn't
until
exist
he
for
did
me
the whole
until
season,
like senior year.
like 0-9.
And so,
They were like 11-0.
there were phantom people and things,
And then-
I'm like, I don't know any of these things.
And then
And I'm like,
11,
these things are great.
because suddenly,
And
because
just being able to write all that kind of stuff. You're writing a story, and then you have to do songs, which is all this exhibition. Yeah, and so then, on top of that, but what really gets me is the brilliance of getting the, right before the end of the acts, you know, when you blend them all together, which is funny, because South Park, the movie, was exactly that, and that was super well done.
Greatest musical ever read.
Yes, and the lyrics, some of the crafts are awesome, and
Awesome,
the
but
way
then
they
they created
created
a performance, the same guy.
that is great as well. I didn't watch it, but I've heard a bunch of the songs, and I'm like, these are great. So,
If you look at the difference between Phantom of the Opera and Les Mis, it's just the difference between Shakespeare and John Grisham. You know what I mean? John Grisham writes the law novels.
no, I,
It's fun, it's okay, it's like,
Richard
go there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fantastic.
But he's got, he can tell a story. And that's what the difference is. Les Mis was.
the performances are awesome, right? And the stage, the lights, that's the first movie I ever saw in person. Yeah, this is my first time going to Broadway to see something. That chandelier and all that, you name it, like, incredible. And then to feel the heat from the flames and from the upper deck, holy cow.
They build it for you. They build it for you.
Except, in 2000, yes, in 2010, I took Kathy, it was my brother's wedding, and then we went to the city with my parents to go catch a show, and we caught Lions King. And
When the animals come down.
down the aisle, so we were in the lower section. I was thinking about it, it was incredible. So, great show. South Lake North, I've seen a bunch of different cities, Toronto, Vancouver, New York, and yes. Anyway, it's cool, that's one thing we don't have here, so if I were to bring my kids back to the States.
Have you seen the Cleveland? They're high school, good.
Yeah. Well, I know they're performing some nice things. If they only had that kind of a facility, we had, like, I remember we had for the musical, we had like what do they call them? Not like the TV guys, but there was also the folks who did all the lights and all the techniques. Yeah, they did all that kind of stuff, the set designs and all that stuff. So there was a little something for everybody in that stuff.
My daughter went to Memorial High School. With Timothy John. Same time. And their musicals were Broadway ones. And he wasn't good enough.
Really?
Not as a musician. They were Broadway. And they did great stuff. She wasn't New York. It's a musical arts school. I bet it was an actor. And it was a music arts school. Give to these children. The set design of that was Broadway. It was equivalent. And those kids go straight into Broadway. Oh, they would skip class. For that, if they get a job, they take it. And these kids could do that.
Yeah. Some of them, like,
You know, I'm wearing this.
And then
I'm
after
sure.
that, I just got to
Press conference.
Be here all week.
and then now.
Feels like it.
Yeah. But he was like,
Anyway, then I fell off after all that. Like I didn't catch the news. I never saw Miss Saigon. Whatever else came out, I didn't see it. Like,
No, I
or you probably don't even know of it. Kind of like country music, right? Kind of stuff in the 90s country. Yes, why?
Oh, yeah, and then I like.
Alabama.
I'm not.
Get a water. No? Water?
And I find it. Like your glasses. I'm not Jackson.
Not that little. No, so government stores used to do those little videos like room next door. They just do that for like those little standing press conferences. We could all be on one side. The acoustics would be great. And they're all standing.
There's the big long weird rooms.
No, I just want to, you know.
But I mean, I don't ever.
Because he doesn't do anything with it, right? Like that should be.
See, I literally, like, I could put my tripod on the table.
I was there right before he when he was fixing it up.
I get a good version, but it's not a great version.
Then that's when I saw it, but
And if the lighting was a little better though, pick it up.
I don't know, there's that
But like,
dark.
do whatever you want.
Like,
Are broken.
what?
Because the person who said the key was working.
I heard you're one of the top 3 favorite reporters from KSB.
Today? Yeah. Top 3. What, top 4?
Looks like how I'm the favorite trust, yeah.
Jason reports from the airport. Prison school.
He never gets any of the FaceTime.
I make sure he does.
Really? I've never even heard his voice.
You do.
I heard it was racial.
We're doing as much as we can. Force him on the campus.
Him and his brother, but they're both great dudes. I did an interview with the mayor last week, but before that, I was sitting down talking to Jason's brother. Like, I should be doing this to just like an interview with him because it was so great to hear about him and how he got to this job and how he did when he got his degree and that he wasn't expecting to do this, but then he did. Like, it was such a great story. I'm like, dude, you just need to come in and let's just talk about it, or I'll go somewhere to you because it's such a great story just to talk about some of the folks behind the scenes who do a lot of stuff about these places.
And he's really good at his job. As his folks, he's awesome. I interviewed him as much as
Yeah, I'm in the.
Hey, everyone come in. The pre-meeting is over.
No, she said you guys. That means Ryan Pam.
Let's see, principal.
Like,
Oh, no worries, I have to inform.
I went home and started driving. I know, matching. We didn't even plan, but we should have told Vicky. Oh, yeah, see?
Mics right now, just to let you know. You say whatever you want. Everyone just kind of.
I love Ashley's dress. I love Tracy's blazer.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hi, how you doing?
See this guy.
Ryan, how you doing? Okay, so how are you? Been a long time.
Yeah.
You always up island or what?
Not planning.
Hey, Tomas. Man, how you doing?
You know, like, what happened?
Yeah.
That's what I think I understand that.
It's always important to look good every day. Actually, go. No, it's a charity's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
It works ready. It works out.
But the one that,
Okay.
Everybody, is you ready? Okay, good morning, everybody. I want to welcome our friends from the media this morning to help us publicize this executive order that we're doing this morning. This is in regard to the audit, CNMI audit. So this morning I'll be signing the Executive Order 2025-003, reinforcing the duties and responsibilities of the Single Audit Committee. Today I'm signing Executive Order 2025-003, reaffirming and strengthening the duties and responsibilities of the Commonwealth Single Audit Committee, composed of the Office of Public Auditor, Department of Finance, the Office of Management and Budget, and the Office of Grant Management. The Commonwealth Delayed Single Audit represents a multifaceted challenges with broad implications of our financial health, federal funding eligibility, and public trust. This is not a problem that can be resolved in a single agency in a short-term fix. It requires a coordinated, intentional, and sustained effort across all responsible entities. This executive order underscores a commitment to improving audit timeliness and accountability by reinforcing the roles and collaborative responsibilities of each member agency. We are laying the groundwork for long-term progress in addressing audit delays, improving internal controls, and ensuring the integrity of financial reporting. The timely completion of single audits is not just a compliance issue. It is a matter of fiscal responsibility, transparency, and good governance. It is also key to our federal grantor partners in fulfilling their mission to assist our people with a wide range of key projects and programs. If the CNMI, including its autonomous agencies, does not expeditiously catch up with the audit and it resolve the audit findings, key future grants may be withheld. So I call on all members of the Single Audit Committee to continue working together with urgency and purpose. And I assure the people of the Commonwealth that this administration will continue to provide the leadership support necessary to restore full audit compliance. So let us move forward with diligence and unity to strengthen our financial stewardship and safeguard the trust placed in us by our citizens and our federal partners. So today, you have our members here from the Department of Finance Secretary, our Budget and Management, Grant Management, and some of the secretaries, commissioners, to witness the signing of this single audit, audit this morning. And this is a serious issue. I think the late governor has been talking about this audit issue for the longest time, and we're still struggling trying to complete it. And this is the time to move forward and finish this thing. We've been dragging our butts, and it will not happen. We have to work and finish this audit. Otherwise, we'll be jeopardizing a lot of federal money for the Commonwealth and our people. Okay. Any question, Media?
Yes, can we get a question about just how this
Yeah,
looks like to work within the government? Will there be a working group or a task force? And what's the timeline? Are you working against the clock here?
Thank you, Governor, and thank you for that question, Tomas. And before I answer that, I'd like to just share my statement from the Department of Finance. And so thank you again, Governor Apatang, media partners, and everyone that is present here today. The Department of Finance fully supports the Governor's executive order that strengthens the role of the Single Audit Committee and improves coordination with our autonomous agencies. This action is critical to helping the CNMI catch up on our audits and meet an expedited timeline. We know this is an important step towards strengthening our financial reporting and ensuring we meet our federal obligations. It is our goal to complete the FY 2023 single audit by next May, the FY 2024 single audit by October 2026, and be completely caught up with the 2025 and 2026 single audits by fiscal year 2027. Over the next 24 months, the Department of Finance is ready to work closely with our committee partners who are here today, the Office of the Public Auditor, the Office of Management and Budget, and the Office of Grants Management, with greater focus, effort, and collaboration to get the job done. The consequences of not completing our audit include CNMI-wide impacts like grant terminations, withholding of funds and delayed drawdowns, the CNMI designated as a high-risk grantee, suspension of ongoing projects, and just so many impacts to programs that our people rely on. And so again, we are grateful for the close partnership we have with the U.S. Department of Interior, Office of Insular Affairs, who provide us funding and technical assistance to increase our capacity to complete the audit in an expedited timeline. We welcome the Governor's leadership and support, and we are committed to building public trust and accountability for the people of the Commonwealth. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Want to say something? I just welcome the other committee members to make a statement regarding the single audit executive order.
Okay.
And sir, if you don't mind, could you just pass both mics down as you speak so we can hear you?
And this one, thank you.
Oh, yeah, third one. Thanks.
The sound is
Hi, Ashley Koss, Legal Counsel of the Office of the Public Auditor. I do not have a prepared statement because I just got pulled into this, but I would say that OPA is excited to work with the working group. We already have a good existing working relationship, but now with the executive order, the framework is all on paper to ensure that we can all work together to make sure that these audits get caught up and then continue moving forward and are done in a timely manner. So thank you.
Happy?
Sorry, there's 3 minutes.
Good morning. Thank you, Governor. On behalf of the Office of Grants Management, we are committed to strengthening the accountability and compliance under the Single Audit Executive Order. Working with the Single Audit Committee and the Office of the Public Auditor, OGM will coordinate the audit entrance exam conferences, provide compliance training, identify high-risk programs, and assist with corrective action plans, and support agencies in resolving audit findings. By enhancing training, oversight, and access to financial systems, OGM aims to ensure proper stewardship of public funds and build greater public trust in government financial management. As you can see, with the schedule, it's very ambitious and robust. We all have to work together. It has to be done for the sake of all federal grants, especially. Thank you.
Vicky?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Governor, for the executive order. This is a much needed, document that would assist the Single Audit Committee to ensure that this time-sensitive project is completed, because there is jeopardy in our federal programs. And we call on all of the department agencies and the component units to assist and cooperate with us to be able to complete this and be out of the loop on all of those consequences that were mentioned earlier by the Secretary of Finance. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, please just give us the perspective of this. Can you just give us a little background that leads to the formation of this Single Audit Committee? Maybe any cabinet members or maybe the Governor himself can answer the question.
I can take that, Governor.
Okay.
The background on this need for the EO really stems from being delayed in our single audits. When this administration came in 2023, the CNMI government just completed its 2020 audit. And so because we were already behind at that starting point, the Department of Finance sought federal assistance to help increase our capacity and our ability to catch up. And what we have found over the past 2 years was a need for increased collaboration, increased clarity of the roles of each of the committee members here today, so that we can meet this ambitious and aggressive timeline. Like I mentioned before, we are attempting to do something that has never been done before. We have never been in this position where we have increased federal oversight and increased federal pressure to catch up on our audits because it jeopardizes our federal grants. We are already seeing the negative impacts of delayed audits. We are seeing federal grants being withheld. We are seeing federal grants being terminated. And we are seeing increased requirements of our programs because of our single audit. And it is not just us here today that is responsible for this. Like Ms. Vicky had mentioned, it includes all departments, all agencies. It includes our autonomous agencies. We need their coordination, their collaboration, and we need them to take the audit completion and timeliness seriously. And so I believe this message from the governor through the executive order puts the pressure on all CNMI agencies, all CNMI autonomous agencies to catch up, because it is affecting everybody. And so we're really glad that this is in place. There's a lot of clarity in the roles and responsibilities laid out in the executive order. And I believe with this tool in our tool belt, we are better prepared for this ambitious timeline.
Where did this scrutiny come from? When did it start, and what do you think inspired this extra level of scrutiny?
I believe it started with the new presidential administration, the Trump administration, and I believe it's the new leadership under the Office of Insular Affairs, and who is also a very strong partner. And so we are grateful again for their support, because it benefits both of us. They want to see success in their programs, in the funding that's provided to the CNMI. They want to see success across all the federal programs that we have. And so it is timely. It should have been done, but we are doing it now. And thank you again to the governor for his support.
What was the reasons for the delay in single audit? Because this is the first time it happened. I remember 7 years ago, CRM was not able to draw down funds because of the delayed audit, right? So this time, what are the reasons for the delay? Is any information about that?
So we have some main contributing factors to why the audits were delayed. And so number one, of course, everybody is aware of the change in our financial system from the old legacy JDE system to the Munis system that caused extreme delays in the completion of the audits even before this administration. And so for us to come in and reconfigure and fix our books has taken a lot of effort. And so that was one main challenge. Another is the change in our auditors. As you know, Deloitte has been our auditor for 20 years and has left the region. And that has caused a huge disruption in the audit experience that the departments have had for the last 20 years. And then also having a new auditor who is Ernst & Young, doing the single audit with the CNMI for the first time. There was a big learning curve there, but I think now that we've completed at least one audit, we're about to complete the FY22, we are in a better position with our new auditors to meet this timeline.
Thank you.
Finance Secretary, do you have a ballpark figure how much in terms of grants that we lost because of the delays in the audits?
I don't have that figure with me right now in terms of loss, but I can tell you how much federal dollars are at risk because of the single audit question costs that have accumulated in our audits, which right now stands at $104 million of federal funding that has been questioned up to FY 2021. And so again, it requires the collaboration and coordination of the departments to resolve those findings. And like Mr. Epi Cabrera had mentioned, the Office of Grants Management is taking on that role to provide that support to the agencies to resolve those audit findings so we don't return federal dollars.
And what's the breakdown of that 104 million? Is that mostly ARPA, or what are the sources?
There's multiple federal grants that make up those question costs that can be found in our FY 2021
Is
single
there any
audit.
line share that makes up half or a quarter?
A lot of it came from COVID funding.
COVID funding? Oh. That's CARES Act funding?
CARES.
Okay. And then, is there accountability built into this committee? If you were to confirm the questionable findings, what do you do? Do you just forward that to what does OPA do, I guess?
Maybe that's a good question.
Yes, obviously, we want to address the question findings, and so then they don't keep appearing in future audits. Obviously, if those question findings, if there is a level that rises to potentially a criminal violation, then it would get referred to OPA, but it's not always criminal. There could just be mistakes, but the most important thing is being responsive to those findings so we don't keep seeing the findings year to year in every audit, because that really does happen.
Yep.
Okay, and one thing is that we had a Zoom meeting with the Department of Interior this morning about 5:30 this morning, and this is a major concern with Department of Interior. And they just told us outright that we need to fix our audit issues. Otherwise, we'll be risking getting more grants, federal money for the Commonwealth and our people. And we cannot afford to do that. Those agencies that are responsible They need to start doing their job and get this thing fixed. Okay, any other question?
When should people, these different individual offices, when are they responsible to provide the information on a regular basis?
You have a deadline there?
Yeah, okay, I can take that question. We anticipate our FY 2023 audit to commence in December. And before it does start, the Single Audit Committee, through the executive order, has outlined the activities that will happen to better prepare these agencies. One of that is the audit entrance meeting and training that will be conducted by the Office of Grants Management, supported by the Office of the Public Auditor and other committee members as well. And so we have outlined, and we spent a lot of time going through what would be the most helpful and impactful way to plan out this project timeline so that the agencies have the right support and the right tools to be successful in completing their part of the single audit. So we're looking at December, and we anticipate that training to be conducted soon.
And how do you anticipate this will impact current and future budget negotiations or planning?
I hope that this would be a positive note for all our federal partners to show the seriousness of this administration and just the collaboration and commitment that we are putting together here in the CNMI so that we can catch up to improve the accountability of the federal funds that have been awarded to the CNI.
I know the work hasn't necessarily started already, but I know of concern recently in the news is NAP and Department of Education. Are you seeing any major concerns in this audit with TSS or NAP? Like, because their funding is already at jeopardy, do you know? And USDA,
I mean, I can say that.
I'm so sorry, there are 3 microphones. We just want to make sure our audience hears you.
Thank you. I can say that with the large influx of money we received, federal dollars we received during those years, the threshold is starting at $3 million, right? So that's about 13 to 17 agencies that will be audited. So I do remember that NAP is on that list, and specifically for their PBT, maybe their disaster coupons, or and for, I don't believe PSS, because they're a component unit, so
they have a
that's
separate
the
audit.
separate audit. So we primarily focus on the central government with the single audit and receive the component audits, the units, their audits in.
Just clarificatory information. So when the single audit was delayed in the past, I remember the only consequence was that that agency was put in a reimbursable mode, right? That means they cannot draw down the money. They have the local government should pay for it and then reimburse later. That was the consequence when this happened first time. Now this time you're saying that it's not only that. That means that the funding is totally going to be. That's the case now.
Yes.
It's a potential consequence.
Why is it not the same consequence as before? It's because of the different administration? Okay.
Federal policy.
Okay. So this is worse than before, right? Because at least in the past, only the drawdown was held, right? But you can still have the money, right? But this time, it could be worse.
It's not really that worse. We just have to do our job.
Yeah, that's why
We
we're
get
doing
that
this,
money.
right? That's why we're
We need to
forming this
comply
committee.
with their policy, It works like that. So you spend it, you report it.
And I'd just like to add to Arnold's comment is the impact to our community. And one that you can see very clearly is the impact to the CARADOT program, where their funding is being held right now by their grantor because of the status of our delayed single audits. And the grantor will only allow for the agency to use their federal funds once we catch up with our audits. And so that's just one example of how our community is being impacted by delayed audits. And that's one example why we need to have increased coordination and effort to catch up. And we don't want any more of that to happen. And so we have to do our part to work hard and get the job done, like the governor said.
I know this is gonna sound a little cheeky, I don't mean it to be that way, but like, what does working hard mean in this kind of instance? Do you employ more resources? Do you hire more staff? Do you divert projects that people were already working on? What does that mean?
It means all of that and more. And our federal partners know that, and that's why they have provided federal funding support to have increased capacity, increased training, increased hiring. What areas will have the most impact in getting the audits done? And it means all of that for not just the Department of Finance and not just the committee members, but it's for all the departments, because they are managing and operating programs, and the audit is a separate project that's going to be added onto their daily work already for those that are being audited. We have gained some efficiencies in the audit process. The auditor has a portal, so everything has gone digital. All submissions, all requests are being done in the audit portal. And so what does the work do? What does the work mean? It means looking at that portal, what is being requested of you, getting the requests in on time, completed, so that the auditor can turn around and
Move on to the next question.
Yeah. And so it's a lot of work, because an audit is normally 9 months, and we are shooting to complete each year in 4 months, 4 to 5 months. And so that drastically increases the amount of work and intensity to get it done.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, any more?
Yeah, if I could just take the liberty, I don't know when we're gonna see you next, so I'm just gonna ask other questions. Gov, could we get your comment? We've been hearing from the delegates specifically that we're going to request an extension on the EIS for
I
the
did.
CJMT.
I already asked for a 60 days extension.
Can you tell us why you're requesting an extension?
Well, I think we need more time to evaluate the comments from the general public. And, I sat with General Akimoto the other day, but I told him that we're flexible. So once all those comments are put together and, we're agreeable to what's going on, and then we can move forward. So that's the reason why I asked for that 60-day extension. But even the Department of Interior is aware of that, and they're willing to work with us, and DOD also. So that's part of the conversation that we had this morning.
And Ashley, I just wanted to ask OPA, we don't get the chance to see you often, so can you give us an update on the criminal charges filed regarding the lump sum payments for former staffers of then Mayor Apatang? In our interview with the governor, he said that it was signed off by then Deputy AG Lillian Tenorio, so sorry to put you on the spot, but I figured I'd ask while you're here.
Thanks, Tomas. I will say that OPA does not discuss the existence of status of any investigation due to confidentiality requirements by the law. So, sorry about that.
Okay.
Not even just this time?
Not even just this time. Not because you asked really nicely.
Okay.
Just real quick, there was legislation introduced yesterday about renaming Beach Road to Governor Arnold I. Palacios Memorial Highway. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah. Actually, it's a good intention, but even myself, when I was in the legislature, I tried to rename Beach Road. Just half of it would be a Veterans Road, but there was a lot of comment from the general public that they just don't want to change Beach Road. Leave it as it is. Everybody loved the name Beach Road, so that's why they haven't changed. We don't want to do that now.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then just lastly, I know I see a representative down in the room. Can you comment on signing into law, Public Law 24-11, CHC, reconciling public utility accounts between CHCC and CUC by waiving the fees?
Okay, we can ask Congressman Ardon for his comments. He's the one who introduced that bill.
Get behind the microphone, why then?
Grab a chair.
I know we were trying to schedule an interview, but this is better, I guess.
Well, we took the opportunity, so
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Can you repeat the
Yeah,
question?
just your comment on it being signed into law, what it means for the CNMI and why you, introduced it.
It's very simple, really, when you look at the math behind it. It doesn't make any sense that the hospital where they the totality of the arrears is already at 70 million mark. Now, half of that, or close to half of, when we did the math, it's like 49 point something percent is in penalties. No one charges that amount of penalties on anything. Not even the bank does that. So I'm not sure how CUC did their math, but that to me is extortion. And when it comes to that point, you're pretty much putting everybody, in jeopardy. And the fact that you've been putting this on the shoulders of ratepayers is just not right at all. And I'm happy that, and I'm glad that, the governor and signed it into law. So, and a portion of that law says that, those waivers of those penalties shall not be, transferred over to the ratepayers. Because it doesn't make any sense for one government agency to be charging another government agency, penalties and interest. Everybody shares the same pot of money. And if you're just taking it for whatever God unholy reason, it doesn't work. You're crippling the other agencies when you do something like that. And it doesn't benefit the general public or the government itself. People will get tired of, they're saying that they're getting to shoulder these costs. Yes, it does. And would you want to continue shouldering that cost? No, you don't. So that's the reason why that bill was introduced, and the governor, passed it, made it a law. So there's we're trying to stop this thing little by little. We can't shock the system. Some people say that, why don't they just shut down the government and pay the arrears? Okay, if you want to do that, okay, then don't expect the police department to be active. Don't expect the hospital to be active. Don't expect any government agencies or services to be provided to the public. So that's the reason why the intent of that bill is just to stop all of this nonsense extortion, to other government agencies.
You mentioned before that you intend to have the hospital pay for the health network program, but the language no longer in the bill that the governor signed. What happened along the way?
Well,
language?
there are, so we realized that, the savings that the hospital could see through this bill was to take some of that funding, and place it over to the health network program and hopefully pay Medicaid. And that is where I firmly believe that the hospital should be audited to ensure that the savings that they do realize from these waivers go to actually where it needs to be, instead of the hospital paying their monthly usage plus, an additional, $500,000 to the arrears. So those savings could be going in that direction. So that's why we decided to just move that to the side. That we cannot have like this whole one bill have octopus tentacle just going all over the place. So we're trying to make it very concise, and at the same time hoping that the hospital would do its due diligence and actually divert those savings to something more important. And hopefully that they don't divert it over to raising their salaries.
Is there any hospital oversight for that kind of thing? Like exactly what you're talking about?
Not at the current moment, I don't see one, and I haven't come across one. And that is where, we at the legislature are, being very vigilant and working with the administration and everybody, all stakeholders involved, to ensure that this doesn't go, left field. Yeah. That's our intent to go. So because we do have, the legislature has the power for oversight. So we can actually request for audits, on a semi-annual or annual basis, where reports of their savings will be provided to the executive branch or to the governor's office and the legislature, so we can actually see that it is going to where it was intended to go.
Well, with the hospital, you see what's happened in the last, at least the last 10 years since I've been following it. There really is no teeth to anything for the hospital when it comes to the paying of their utilities. It's one thing that can easily be skipped, and it seems like without being able to turn them off, there is no other source of recourse for CUC. So what do you think there is that could be to really force the hospital's hand to pay?
Well, that's where we're trying to be adults here. So we're giving CUC and the hospital, the opportunity within that bill. It says that, you have a certain amount of days to come up with a no kidding for real payment plan to cover your principals. We've already done our part. The administration already has done its part by giving you guys leeway to move, and for CUC and the hospital to clean up its books. So we're giving them the opportunity to sit down at the table and actually come up with a better plan that is solid, to make sure that these payments are made and to no longer stop putting it on the shoulders of the ratepayers.
Thank you.
Governor, just one last question, if I could. It's been reported that the DPW Secretary was charged with DUI, and there are allegations of a misuse of a government vehicle. Can you just tell us what the record is? Was there misuse of government vehicle?
Thank you for that question, Tomas. I have no idea.
Okay.
I have not received any report from anybody as to that issue. And once we receive a report from public safety or whatever, I believe we should let the course take, we just wait until somebody decide what to do.
So you haven't received any official
I haven't
report?
received any report whatsoever.
Right. Thank you for addressing it. It's a matter of public interest. I appreciate it.
It's a lot of rumors on Facebook.
Yes,
Don't
that's
believe
why I'm trying to get
rumors.
the record from you.
What do you call that? Anonymous person, whoever that is always out there reporting some false information. So, That's it.
Did you see, speaking of DPW, did you see the report of the inspection of IPI that from July?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any thoughts about the current state of it?
I want to commend DPW for doing what they're supposed to do, inspecting that building, making sure that it's safe and, somebody is interested in that building. So the guy was here visiting me. I told him, you're going to have to spend a lot of money. And you need to be straight, be honest, if you want to invest here, we don't want any hanky-panky business. Straightforward, pay your obligation. He owes us a lot of money, right? So we're looking forward to that.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can I just take a picture of your speech just to make sure that I got the...
You didn't get a copy?
No, the speech.
Oh.
All right, folks, so that's what we've got here from the governor's office. We're going to end the feed here, and we'll give you more updates on how everything goes later. We're going to post up those executive orders and the statements from everybody later today. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.